Hi, my name is Tammy Bednar. I'm a product manager for Oracle Database Cloud Services. Today we're going to talk about the Exadata database service on Exascale infrastructure and how to provision a VM cluster and database container. Oracle Exadata database service on Exascale infrastructure is a new cloud database service that uses Exadata Exascale in Oracle Cloud infrastructure. Exascale is a multi-tenant, hyper-elastic, intelligent data architecture that delivers all the advantages of Exadata with all the benefits of modern clouds. Exascale pools shared database, optimized compute, and storage resources to enable you to provision and scale just the database storage and VM resources you need. You can start with a small VM cluster and a small amount of storage and easily scale as needs grow. Now let's provision an Exadata database service on Exascale infrastructure VM cluster. Let's go to our OCI console to the Exadata database service on Exascale infrastructure. To create a new VM cluster, click on Create VM Cluster. You'll provide the basic information such as compartment, your display name, and the cluster name. You'll then select the availability domain for your VM clusters. Then you'll configure the VM cluster image. You'll specify the number of VMs in the cluster between 2 and 10, and the number of eCPUs to enable per VM on your VM cluster. You can reserve additional eCPUs to use to scale your VM clusters without a reboot. Then you will list the total number of eCPUs per VM that will be used. The memory is allocated based on 2.7 gigabytes per eCPU you've allocated in your VM cluster. For the VM file storage image system storage, you'll specify between 280 gigabytes up to 1 terabyte. Next, let's configure your Exascale database storage vault. You can create a new vault or select an existing one. With the new one, you specify the vault name. You'll specify storage. Select the grid infrastructure version of 23AI. You'll then download your private key or upload SSH keys to use with your VM cluster connection. Configure your network settings by selecting your VCN, the client subnet, and your backup subnet. Then you'll enter a host name prefix and select your license, included or bring your own. Review the diagnostics collection, and under advanced options, you can select your time zone, and under network, you can select your scan listener port, and then you can optionally add tags to organize your resources. When all the information is there, click on Create VM Cluster. Now let's provision a container database in your Exadata database service on Exascale infrastructure VM cluster. Your VM cluster has now been provisioned and you're ready to create a container database. Enter the basic information for your container database, such as database name, and also, optionally, the first PDB name. Specify a database home or create a new database home by entering the display name of your database home. You'll enter your sys password and confirm the password, and then you'll configure backups. By default, you have the autonomous recovery service, and you can specify your retention time of your backups. Optionally, you can also use OCI object storage for your automatic backups as well, and select your backup retention period between 7 and 60 days. You'll enter or select the information of when you want to make your full backups and your incremental backups. Under the advanced options, under management, you can select your character set and the Oracle SID. In encryption, you can select how you want to manage your keys. And of course, under tags, you can add additional tags to organize your resources. For more information or step-by-step instructions on how to provision a VM cluster and container database with Exadata database service on Exascale infrastructure, scan the QR code. Thank you for joining us today.